Grand Rising, Grand Arrival, Grand Return. Thank you for joining us. This is Chief Sophia of the Americana Band of Indians, and we're going to talk briefly about tax filing for 2024. Most people, if you filed your extension as I suggested and recommended, now is the time to make sure you get these things ready so you can have your taxes submitted before the end of the month of August. And if you have your tax year ending in August, now is also the time when you would complete your tax return. So what we have here is a checklist of what you need to actually complete the process. If you're interested in the folder, which has all the documents already, or access to our family banking group where you can ask questions or basically our family banking group where you can ask questions, please send me an email. My email is on this document and it's also in the description. And there's a link where you can join our No Money Grow Money group, which is what we recommend. Join that group first, because that's going to be a general business and entrepreneurship development group. And then I will manually add you to our family banking group. Okay. And so because we don't we have to have a method of tracking people. So I'm just going to read this and give you some notes, give you some suggestions. Filing taxes is not difficult at all, especially in 2024. The first thing you want to do is input your details for your tax return onto a free tax website. The recommended one is on the screen. Now, the reason why you want to use this website is because when you put in your numbers, it will tell you all the forms that you need. So I have a list of forms here that are standard, but it will tell you all the forms that you need for your specific tax situation. And so I recommend going to a free tax website, putting in your information, and getting your numbers as good as you possibly can prior to completing a return in the physical with the physical documents. Now, the reason why we want to return to filing taxes by paper is because there are limitations that the computer cannot handle. One of these limitations is tax credits. It is not set up to handle the proper use of tax credits, how they're supposed to be used. Therefore, we have to look to alternatives to get the tax credit situation handled properly. So that's the reason why we decided to file by hand. However, the software will tell you the general things that you need. All right, once you complete the filing on the software, but before you file before you file your return, so you go through the list, you answer the questions, you give them all the information you need. And then you get to the end, they do the checks, they make sure everything is okay. Before you file it, there's a filer copy that you can print out and refer to. You need to look it over and make sure that everything is correct. What you're going to want to do is print that copy out. Now, I don't want to hear people say, I don't want to print, I don't want to waste paper, any of that stuff. That is not what I'm here to talk about. I'm trying to explain to you how to document your tax credits, okay? So that you get credit for your tax credits. So, and again, as a reminder, it will tell you all the schedules you need to include. So if you're requesting a refund for credits, you want to document that number on line 25B. You can change that number when you file by hand. When you file with the software, you cannot change that number. Therefore, I am recommending, if you are trying to properly document your tax credits for use, you would use this document and put the credits on that line, okay? But if you are requesting to use tax credits, you want to make sure you include your tax credit letter, which gives or transfers the credits to you. You need the ledger, okay, to show how many of the credits you have used. You need the copy of the 1040 where the credits, a 1040, and also just a tax return where the credits are documented. So in my case, it's a 1040, a Schedule 2, a Schedule D. Yeah, 1040, Schedule 2, and Schedule D. Okay? I'm just going to write that down. All right, that's what you would include. The documents where you originally documented the tax credits. You have to include that with the return, okay? Anytime you use tax credits, you have to include the information on where the credits are originally documented with your return. It says that in the IRS paperwork, and so we follow the rules as they have them stated, okay? If you receive credits from the tribe, the annex of material was provided to you for when the credits were issued. There are several individuals who have been issued tribal credits, and you can document those credits in the way that I just described previously. All right, so for 2024, we have a folder that has all of these documents in it. These are the main ones that people would use. If you need any other ones, you just go to Google, you type in 2024, and whatever document it is you need, the number, the letter, the whatever it's called, you type that into your Google, okay? And it will bring up the IRS page and you can download it from there. So it's very easy to obtain these documents, but for our people, we have put these all together to make it easier for you. So the main documents that you would need is a 1040, a Schedule 1, a Schedule 2, a Schedule C, a Schedule D, the 8949, that's the document tax credits, the Schedule SE, and the Schedule EIC if you have kids, earned income credit, and the 4652. So those are the main ones. Now, if you have other specialized issues, that's why you would print out your filer copy and go and obtain those schedule of documents so that you can by hand copy them from the filer copy to your clean copy that you're going to mail in. So once you have transcribed the numbers from the filer copy to your copy to be filed, package all your documents together. Make a copy and submit your return. If you have to file a state return, feel free to file that on that free tax website. The cost is typically about $20. Do not file your federal return on the website. The numbers won't match and you will create issues for yourself. Again, you can file your state return without filing your federal return. So it has an option on there, or you could just don't file it, okay? If you're going to do your taxes by hand, do not file the federal return on the website. You can file the state return. Do not file the federal return, okay? I hope I said that enough times so that nobody gets themselves in trouble. Now, if you need transcription services, this is a service where we transcribe from the filer copy to these documents. This is a service that we offer for our administrative services. It is a transcription service, okay? It is not a filing service. I want to make sure people understand that. I am not a filer. I don't have a filer code. I don't do any of that stuff. We can transcribe the documents for you if that is something that is too complicated for you. You will have to go to one of these free tax websites and get a filer copy, because you are the one who are responsible for the numbers on a document. We will simply transcribe them, okay? So you can contact us, and the email is on the screen, and I have an email in the description. Send me a message if that is a service that you would like to have. It is the same cost as our consultation. Okay, it's the same cost as our consultation. So if you're interested in that, please feel free to reach out to us. Okay, so but this, I've given you all the information. That's one thing that we are committed to. That's one thing that we are committed to within our tribe, within our tribe, and just within myself, is to giving people the information they need to do what needs to be done. Okay, so if this is, again, if you would like to be added to our family banking group so that you can ask questions, please send an email and I will give you the instructions on how to do that. If you would like to have this as a service, please send an email and I will give you the instructions on how to do that. This should not be something that you find overwhelming or scary or anything else. It's very, very simple. So thank you so much for listening. Peace and blessings, and we'll see you in the next video.